Let's be honest for a second. Does anyone else feel like the world has been spinning a little too fast lately? We wake up, doom scroll through headlines that feel more like satire than reality, and by the end of the day, we're just looking for someone to look into the camera and say, "You're not crazy, this is actually absurd." For years, that person was Jon Stewart. When he left The Daily Show, it wasn't just a comedian retiring. For many of us, it felt like losing our nightly anchor in a stormy sea of 24-hour news cycles. We drifted. Sure, we had incredible talent step up. Trevor Noah did a phenomenal job, and the current late-night roster is packed with brilliance. But there was always that Stewart-shaped hole in our hearts. Then came the catalyst. The recent shakeups in late night, specifically the jarring news surrounding Jimmy Kimmel's suspension, didn't just send ripples through the industry. It apparently sent a shockwave straight to Jon Stewart. It's funny how life works, isn't it? Sometimes it takes seeing an empty chair to realize you're the only one who can fill it. The call we didn't know we needed. When news broke about Kimmel, it felt like another domino falling in an already precarious media landscape. Jimmy has been a steady hand, a voice that often cuts through the noise with genuine human emotion. Think of his monologues on healthcare or gun control. Losing that voice, even temporarily, felt unsettling. It seems Jon Stewart felt that unsettlement more than anyone. In recent discussions, Stewart opened up about this exact moment. He didn't just see a colleague stepping away, he saw a void, he saw a purpose. That word, purpose, is heavy. It's not about money or fame or needing renewed relevance. Jon Stewart certainly doesn't need any of those things. He was doing just fine on his farm, advocating for 9/11's first responders and living a life outside the relentless grind. But purpose is that nagging voice at 3 a.m. that says, "You have something to do here." Seeing the landscape shift with Kimmel's suspension seemingly acted as a mirror for Stewart. It was a stark reminder of how fragile these platforms are, and how vital honest, satirical, sometimes righteously angry voices are to our collective sanity. It wasn't just about filling a time slot, it was about answering a distress call from the culture itself. Why we cling to these voices? Why does this matter so much to us? Why did the internet practically melt down with joy when Stewart announced his return to Monday nights? Because trust is a rare currency these days. We are bombarded with agendas, spin, and perfectly curated social media lives. When someone like Stewart sits at that desk, leans in, scribbles on his blue cards, and gives us that look of exasperated disbelief, we feel seen. His return, fueled by this newfound sense of purpose, isn't about nostalgia. It's about catharsis. When Stewart talks about feeling that purpose after Kimmel's suspension, he's tapping into something incredibly relatable. Haven't we all had that moment? That moment when you're content on the sidelines, but then something happens. A project at work starts failing, a friend needs help, a community issue arises, and you realize, okay, I have to step back in. I can actually help fix this. It's a reluctant heroism. Stewart isn't back because he wanted the spotlight. He's back because he felt a duty to man the lighthouse when the fog got too thick. The emotional weight of purpose. There is something incredibly grounding about seeing a master return to their craft, not for glory, but for service. Stewart's purpose is fundamentally about us, the audience. He knows we are tired. He knows we are burnt out by the constant barrage of unprecedented events. His return is a form of empathy. It's his way of saying, I know it's a mess out there. Let's try to make sense of it together for 20 minutes. The suspension of a peer like Kimmel is a stark reminder of mortality in this industry. These shows don't go on forever. The voices we rely on won't always be there. Perhaps that realization lit a fire under Stewart to make his time count now, while the stakes feel so impossibly high. It changes the way we watch him now, doesn't it? Knowing he's not just fulfilling a contract, he's fulfilling a calling. Every joke seems to have a little more bite, every sincere moment a little more gravity, because we know he chose to be here when he didn't have to be. A beacon in chaotic times. We need laughter. Not just distracting, silly laughter, though that's great too, but the kind of laughter that comes from a deep understanding of a painful truth. That's Stewart's specialty. He metabolizes our collective anxiety and turns it into something we can not only handle but actually laugh at. If Jimmy Kimmel's suspension was the jolt that woke the giant, then we owe that chaotic moment a strange debt of gratitude. It brought back a voice that helps us navigate the absurdity of modern life. So, welcome back to the fight, John. We didn't realize how much we missed having you in our corner until you showed up, sleeves rolled up, ready to work. You found your purpose again, and in doing so, you've given a lot of us a renewed sense of hope, or at least, a much-needed reason to smile on a Monday night. In a world that often feels rudderless, it's nice to know the captain found his way back to the bridge. What about you? Did Jon Stewart's return feel like a breath of fresh air for you too? Let us know how it felt to see him back behind that iconic desk.